nice POV on a fine Monday evening, I guess, if you will. Whew. Today's gonna be a push day. I'm pretty excited. My favorite, bench tempo. I'm sure with every lift, there's some sort of, back and forth. Bench press, yes, you could be simple and just bench press it, but I think when I do a bench tempo, I just feel way more of like a workout throughout my chest. Again, personal preference. If you haven't tried it, try it. It may not be for everybody, but for those who haven't tried it, you can't knock something until you try it. We're pretty good on our meal plans today, or our meal prep today. We hit our beef with rice, our chicken with rice, technically through a gallon of water, so we're very hydrated. We're 3/4 away through a C4 can, so semi-caffeinated, very hydrated, filled up, had 2 cookies. Disclaimer, no, but so we have about, I think this is 175 on the bar, but we're gonna go for 8 reps. I know, oh my God, a number. No, we're gonna go for 8. We're gonna do it for 4 sets though, so that's gonna be the challenge. So let's go see how this ends up going. Hopefully it moves right. I did have 35s on here, to be honest with you guys, and they would have gone up and down, maybe not as prettier, right? Not as prettier as this way may, be performed. But again, I'm not here to lift up heavy weight, go crazy right now. Our focus is just to really make sure. I know I'm gonna start doing my studying because I gotta figure out. I don't think it's contractions of the chest, right? Just an overall really focus, like a chest focus workout, and you just can't go wrong in bench tempo. So fun. Ooh. Let's go. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think 185 would have performed as well as 175 did, but that was damn good. So, push day, go with the flow. I'm not gonna go too crazy. We will do cardio for the ones who don't do cardio, but pretty easy mellow schedule today. So, let me get to the C4 can, and then let's knock this out. So go bad, baby. That was a little difficult. 2 more sets. I'm gonna keep it at this angle. I like this side. We'll do another. The last one will be you guys spotting me because we're getting a bit weak. So, ooh. I think I did more than 8 on the last set. So. Ooh. Whew. This last set's gonna be pretty fucking brutal. Two. Okay, last one. Whew. Oh. Oh. We're good. All right. So before you judge this book by its cover, let me assure you something really quick. This is an actual 45-pound bar. So 45 off rip plus 10, 10. What is that? 55, 65 and a half, 5 is 9, 65, 75. I didn't do good in math. But I think that's 75 pounds. Now, let me double check actually. I think our our reps for this one is, well, it's 4 by 8. Okay, cool. And I'm actually 10 pounds over my required. So I think we're good. So, another very humbling movement. I don't know how I feel about it. Well, no, I do like it because it does take some core, right? And, well, shoulders are definitely feeling it, which is obviously the point. And this is the closest thing to a, I'm sure you could imagine like a squat rack. It'd be way easier if I were to just, boom, yeah, a little extra workout. Kind of get like a little bend over barbell row. Just kidding, but oof. Oh yeah, guys. All right. Whew. That feels beautiful. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Thumbnail? I think it's too far. Whew. Let's switch up an angle. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Hopefully that looks pretty solid. Ooh. Oh no. Failure done. Oh. Oh. That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh my god. That's good. Oh, that wide grip feels better. That's not bad. Whew. I don't know how this is gonna look. I think it'll do the job though. You guys see. Just an incline or a decline. This is for Smith or dips substitute because, well, I think this is a bit better. Get more of a lower chest work. Oh no, I just overall, just preference. And especially if there's not a machine that, you know, allows you to do those dips. There is a bench version, but I'm sorry. Oh yeah. I think the higher the reps, the more I feel it on the lower pec. Holy. Yeah, I miss these a lot. Whew. We'll do 2 more sets. I had adjusted a little bit, and that is god dang perfect. Whew. One more set. That's failure for sure. We're done. Ooh. Ooh, next one. Ooh, let's get the heck out of here. All right. Happy Monday. Whew. Man, pretty successful day so far. Yeah, I cannot complain. But the topic of discussion today on the car ride, I think I'm gonna incorporate some topics. That way I'm kind of like not all over the place and we'll just focus and dial in on like one thing. But let's get started. All right. Hopefully we don't get no copyright. Let's lower this music down. Is there AC on? We're good. Oh, that sounds amazing. All right, guys. Let's begin. No. So I know this is all over social media. Well, not even social media, but I think in context to like the gym lifting life, whether it's whatever you're doing, bulking, cutting, especially, maintaining, whatever it is you call it, right? I can guarantee you one thing that a lot of you have in common, and I was also in this ship, right? You know where I'm going with this. Any guests before we begin? $100 for the first person. I know I'd be out $100, but probably more than $100. But it starts with the letter C. Cardio. All right, let's go ahead and pull in front of a car while we're driving. Anywho, cardio. I know was also once upon a time my arch nemesis, but I've learned to love, and well, we have a very hip-to-hip relationship, if you will. But let's go ahead and get into it. So elephant in the room here is cardio, of course, and It's very tricky, but I think it's only tricky if you make it tricky. And I feel as if, at least from my perspective, right, when I once upon a time, I swore, right? This is probably going to sound like a lot of your guys' reasonings, guys and girls' reasonings as to, like, why you don't have time. That's one of them, right? No time for cardio. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, right? Or, yeah, I don't need it, it's not necessary. Or, like, I'm already, quote-unquote, like slim, or I'm not, cover your ears, fat. But it's like, first and foremost, cardio doesn't necessarily mean running, sprinting. I feel like, excuse my language. Just marathons. I know that for instance, when I first thought of cardio, I dreaded it and I avoided it and I hated it because, well, I already did the hard part, which is getting to the gym, right? My very first time ever going to the gym, I was already like I hated it. I hated going out there. I was, obviously a bit bigger. I just was super insecure, and you guys understand, right? And I'm sure I'm speaking and I can relate to some of you guys and girls who are, for the first time going into the gym. It's scary. Nonetheless, point blank period, it's scary because you're already getting out of your comfort zone, which, congratulations, and give yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back because you deserve to. But I understand and I can relate to you guys and girls 110%. It is damn scary, right? Going into the world of, there's already people that are experienced that look much better, and you're already as discouraged as it is, right? So you're going through a lot of stuff already, right? Again, I'm speaking on my experience and how I incorporated cardio. And maybe you guys could too. But so some cardio incorporating tips. I looked at it like this. I was already going through a lot of, I guess you could say stress, and a lot of, like, I don't want to say I don't believe in anxiety. Let's not go into that. Let's not drift away here. But cardio is very much, scary nonetheless. And I know when I first thought of the word cardio, I heard the word cardio, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be out of breath. It's so tiring. It's so exhausting. I have to go run. And I don't know. The first thing that came to my head was running, right? Like, I have to be sprinting when I heard the word cardio. I don't know why, but that's just me. And it wasn't until, like, I realized, like, not necessarily is cardio running. Running is just a form of cardio. Cardio can be anything. It could be from walking to running, obviously, to jump rope, to being on a seated bike, to whatever. Honestly, like, the lowest tier. I mean, yeah, you could literally go on a treadmill, for God's sake, and you could just, I wouldn't say this, but I mean, hey, it's better than nothing, right? You could literally be at a 0 incline, 1 speed. Well, I mean, if you were on the treadmill for a 1 speed, you're going to crank it up a bit. But that's still technically cardio. And so when you're in the gym, right, and after you did your workout or whatever it may be, and you're tired, and you got to go home, and you got to cook, and I'm sure there's 1,000,001 excuses and reasonings as to, I'm gonna just leave it. But it's like, at the end of the day, is that 10 to 15, not even, is that 30 minutes, right, of you leaving early, right, because you got to, like, I don't think that's gonna really make or break anything, right? If anything, you staying behind and doing that extra 30 minutes of cardio, whatever it is, that's gonna have a greater impact, a more greater impact than you obviously leaving because of whatever excuse is that you just can't incorporate cardio for whatever your reasoning is. Yeah, so any sort of walking, even after you're done with your lifts, our favorite thing here, our phone. A tip that I thought was very silly, but it got me on the treadmill, was almost like me, I'm a big Clash player. I love Clash of Clans, so drop what arena you're in. Let me see what you guys are at. But no, like, I'm a super big fan of Clash, nonetheless. And so, dude, a game can last 2 to 3 minutes. And that, let's be real, my Clash players out there, we don't play 1 or 2 games. We probably, we can get carried away, and, we get not irritated, but, like, if you lose a game, we want to kind of bounce back, and by the time you know it, 5-6 games later, and it's already what is that, like 6? That's like 20 minutes, give or take, right? And, then again, even if you're on TikTok, right? If you're a fan of the TikTok, or if you're a fan of, Instagram or whatever social media be it, you can scroll on there, and I know damn well when you're at home, you're on your bed or your couch or whatever the case, you're scrolling, and it's like, dude, time is flying. Time flies. So I'm not saying you have to be on a treadmill and sprinting and running. No, let's be honest for a second. If you're first starting off, point blank period, go on the treadmill or go on a bike or something where it just doesn't really require a lot. Like, you could just do it nonchalantly, if that's a word. But that's kind of what I did, and so I was walking, and at first, yes, we're gonna be like, dude, oh my god, like, I'd rather be home, and oh my gosh, like, this is kind of pointless, and I'm probably not even losing. But like, no, get out of your head. That 10, 15, 20 minutes of you doing whatever form of cardio is way greater than just doing nothing at all. That's the mindset. And so once I started incorporating that, and I was just getting a little carried away on Clash, and you find your groove, or you find your niche or itch, because again, I know there's some people who, I don't know, Pinterest, right? Pinterest might be one of them, or throw on a YouTube video, or you can look up other, like cardio glitches or hacks, or what be it, to just kind of kill time. You wouldn't even realize it, and by the time you're done, it's like 30 minutes is done. And so do your cardio. There's just no reason as to why you just shouldn't miss out on your cardio at all whatsoever. But yeah, so let me know what other what are some of your excuses. I'm gonna try to challenge me as to, like, now if you're paralyzed or something. But no. Yeah, you gotta have, like, both legs amputated sort of situation. Then you may be kind of excused. But I never really understood. And once I started doing it, that's when I kind of learned to realize that, like, yeah, it's way more beneficial than, like, me leaving a bit extra early. And chances are I'm leaving early to end up, I'm just probably gonna go and eat something, or I'm just, it's whatever it is. I'm trying to leave a little bit early for. It's probably nowhere close to as, positive as just staying, doing an extra 10, 15 minutes and doing that cardio. And again, dude, even if you're inclining, dude, incline on like a 3, 4, 5, just to start it off, right? You're golden. You're so golden. And that's also another, like, kind of piece of the puzzle that really, like, it may seem very minor, right? A very small little tweak, right? Because let's say, like, you're on and off on your diet. But let's say you're for the most part, you're consistent, right? You have fun. We're human, right? You have your liftings down. Like, you're like, dude, that's cake. Which, in my opinion, I think is a bit more difficult, because, dude, you gotta do sets, you gotta do reps, you gotta change the weight. It's so complicated, and, like, in comparison to just going onto the damn treadmill. Again, I'm saying treadmill because that's my choice of cardio. You could have it be whatever you want. But essentially, all machinery is just, you just go. That's all you do. So, but yeah, once I started implementing the cardio too as well, I noticed some weight loss. I've noticed some, I got a little bit more tired, and my sleeping patterns got a little bit better, and I was more distracted. I stayed a bit longer. This might sound very like what, but, like, I don't want to say my appetite, so to speak, left, but it's like my mind was more busy. So again, like, the more time I had on my hands, I was bad, because, like, I'm at home, I'm bored, and, like, the kitchen cabinets or the snack cabinet was right there. And another reason why too, like, I look at it like this: the more time I'm, occupied doing something, the less time I have to be in that kitchen. And so, again, we'll do another quick update again. I know it's been quite some time since I've been back with you guys, but I got to start holding myself accountable. Not only am I sorry to you guys, but it's more so for myself. Point blank period. I've been kind of talking to my guy Brian. I've been enjoying myself, and that's fine. It's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to learn. Well, not even learn, but, like, I'm going to accept it. I'm owning up to it, And you know, it is what it is. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm a little bit heavier than I'd like to be, but you know, we're not like, you're not far gone. You're not worried. You're not back at square one. You know, it's like, it's okay. You understood what you're doing. Let's come on. We got to straighten up. And so, I have been very, very, very like lenient on myself. And so just recently, again, I kind of went back in touch with Brian. I updated him on everything, and so it's like, it's okay, but come on. there's only a certain amount of it's okays, right? That you can, until it's not okay. But so that was like another kind of eye opener, so to speak. So it's like, dude, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Hold yourself accountable too as well. Let's keep each other held accountable. And again, I'm gonna keep uploading. I gotta get back on track, because this is what's keeping me on track to, I guess, just being on top of things, right? And so there shouldn't be an excuse to do your cardio. Pop on Clash, pop on YouTube. You know, if you're in school, maybe study some stuff, or just whatever the case may be, or listen to some music. You would be surprised on how that small little tweakage is going to have a crazy great impact. And so I certainly did. Now, I do cardio to this day, and it's crazy because, like, my job too that I do a lot of, like walking, a minimum 10,000 steps, and it's to the point where it's like 10,000 steps it doesn't even feel like 10,000 steps. And so once you're at a point like that, like, not that you're golden, but like, that's good. And so it's almost like I feel weird. I feel kind of like sick if I don't, do my 10K steps on top of, my little cardio that I do. And, all it takes is just a bit of a change of your mindset. And, you're already doing 99% of the work, So you're in there, you're lifting the weights, you're keeping track of your weights. You should, keeping track of if you're getting stronger or if you're getting weaker, what to tweak. And oh, maybe I'm not having enough protein, or maybe it's not enough carb. Like, you're doing all this work. For some, that little cardio that you start to do just might be that missing piece of the puzzle. So, again, at the end of the day, cardio, it's overall healthy, right? But it's just way more beneficial to do your damn cardio than to not. I feel like it's more damaging if you just skip it. So, but we're gonna be back on track. We're gonna lock back in. Your boy has absolutely been like, oh man. But we're not here to make excuses. We're here to own up, keep holding ourselves accountable, and you're gonna see more of me, more workouts, more yap sessions, more updates, because I feel so. Oh, I want to be on here next time telling you guys, like, you know what? It's day 10 or whatever. I've eaten clean. I haven't done nothing. Like, I want to be able to tell you guys what I ate, what my macros is, and what I did today, instead of like, damn, this weekend, like, oh shoot, So I'm gonna reset some challenges for myself. We're keeping the lifting kind of still the same. It's like a hybrid push-pull split, push-pull leg split. Macros are still pretty much similar. We're hitting at about like 21 to 2200 calories. Protein, 200 grams of protein. Carbs, we're probably gonna up it to 200 grams of carbs. We got some greens in our system. We'll have what else? I think for the most part that's all that we need. But yeah, I need to get back into like the 200s, or even like goal is 190 for sure. Like 190, 180 would be like a dream. But over here we conquer those. So it is a little bit tricky, though, I will be honest with you. I think I'm gonna really have to dial back in, just because my body's so used to being at the 200 to 220 range. And so it's like, I think I can no longer, not like treat myself, but it's like I'm gonna really have to draw back on those treating moments, because again, like, my body, I have to like adapt it, and I have to switch it from what it once used to. How do I say this? Like from what I was used to eating and consuming, my body knows. All right, well, this is what we're gonna do to maintain, etc. and stuff like that. But now, since I want to go into a weight where I haven't been in, I have to change something. Like I just can't stay the same, because if there's no change, then there's not gonna be any change. Point blank. Period. So let's see what happens. We will succeed. Yes, I'm all thinking about it, but no. So, do your cardio, guys. There shouldn't be a reason as to why we're not doing our cardio. You guys got this. Stay locked in. Stay focused. As will I. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.